Hello, everybody. Welcome to Angie Blog. Woo! So today we are September 11, as tomorrow I will be 33 years old. So today is happy birthday to me. Reading. So I was thinking, being in my meditations and feeling really good today. Also I've been doing prayers and stuff like that, and also I'm gonna go deeper into the usual thing that I do, real talk kind of thing, but and then I'm gonna have some readings, some messages from spirit, divine spirit. I'm still going through the healing process of what ascension really means, in every possible way. People feel like there's this kind of hierarchy, like, oh, some people can awaken, some people cannot, some people are sad, some people this. Like, there's always this separation. Like, there's no separation. There's none of that. It has always been unity, oneness, duality. It's all to get back to that, because we kind of like come back into this earth, reincarnated, and we have this kind of like amnesia, and we forget who we are, and then the system and program like enhances that even more, and then also abuse and control and repress the divine feminine, which is why we have this fear that we cannot speak up. So now we have it's like everything is opening up, we're healing our chakras, and now we're understanding like we need to value more our values, that we need to know our worth, that we are worthy and we're good enough, and also we are divinely goddesses, because we are able to bring other lives into this realm, into this world, right? So we are the only, with our sacred wombs, our feminine wombs, is what brings life into existence here, and it's through us. We're kind of like portals, very sacred and divine portals. So that too is also, they make us have fear over our power. Like, some of us are kind of afraid of what we were really capable of. Sometimes it's not even like, oh, we don't understand, or we don't it's sometimes it's like we do know our values, and we do know our integrity, we do know our power, and then we get afraid of that. And then also all this conditioning and programming that comes into that. So which is why it's like healing the divine feminine during Virgo season. Beautiful. It's actually important. It's key also, because you also help the collective and help Gaia, Earth, heal. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And ladies, know your worth, know your shit. Ask for more money. You know what I mean? We need to start building that equity within organizations and within things. So that's us speaking up. We know our value. We know what we bring to the table. We have this good energy. We are, we're able to help the collective, help humanity, do things that needs to be done. So there's a lot of self-worth that needs to happen. So yeah, definitely working on that that lack mindset is his own consciousness, healing that as well is and that too, we live in a patriarchy society. So for women, this is so important, especially now. We need to step up. So yeah, what I wanted to say, because my thing keeps stopping, because I use a Snapchat because I like the filter. This is a filter, by the way. I feel like a lot of girls and women right now, and younger audiences as well, I feel like you guys feel kind of like, oh, there's we all have this inner beauty, okay? We all have this beautiful way of being, and we all have our little spicy sauce in this world, okay? So don't feel jealousy or threatened or anything like that, or feel hateful. If anything, I hope that you get inspired to, you can change the filters. I can change it to anything in the world, but all beauty comes from within. And this, what you see here, it takes a lot of work. This is, I meditate, I pray, I take care of myself, I do my own self-care in the face. Like I really, you know, do yoga. Like this is what you see. It's just a result of a lot of, and also mental work. You need to be this like kind of beauty standard or kind of like thing. Like today, this is me because I had a birthday party with my girl, with my daughter. We did a birthday party with all her friends in the park, and this is just me. Like, okay, I'm feeling great. My daughter is playing with her cousins and stuff like that. Like, she had a good time, but at the same time, she didn't have a good time. That's something that I'm putting out there. Like, everything in life comes with a good, with a bad. Like, you see, that's another thing where I'm saying is that don't take things personally. That's something that you need to learn as well. I feel like a lot of women are taking a lot of things personally and not working on themselves, but projecting their toxicity, not only to other women, but also men as well. And that's something that we need to understand, that decolonization and all these things that we're doing are really hard, okay? So we need to go through this with gentle compassion and kindness and empathy for others, okay? This is not easy going through what we're going through, right? A lot of deception, there's a lot of lies, there's a lot of manipulation, this is all from oppressive system mixed with capitalism, with white supremacy, and all these horrible, intense things that we have normalized and make it normal. And then, you know, that all income ties into inequality, which is why working in equity, working that in our mindset and that consciousness, and what that really means is really us also standing up in organizations and work that we do. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to ask for more. Why? Because the cost of living is increasing, and so we all should demand, each of us in any organization in the world right now, because we are literally forcing people to work through a whole pandemic, and also realizing that a lot of things are not what it seems, right? So there's a lot of change and shift that needs to happen, but for that we need to create sustainability first within ourselves, and for that we need to create internal healing. We need to create, you know, spiritual habits, things that are healthy for you, for your mind, for everything. You're healing your chakras. These are important things that, you know, makes you balance, and also, you know, project and keep things in line within yourself, so that also doesn't affect other people. But also, the way I look at it now is that, you know, when you heal yourself, when you work on yourself, remember that it's not just, it's like a lifeline. Look at it like this, like you're connected to like this kind of invisible wireless line, okay? And then it's all within your veins, let's say. It's all, you know, kind of magically connected, just like trees are literally networks, and they connect with each other, and that's how they grow. We are trees, but we just consciousness, but trees have their own consciousness. But what I'm saying is that just picture yourself like, okay, so I'm healing and I'm working on myself. I'm doing all this thing. It's not just to gain money or be successful or what. Remember, self-growth is, you have to go through the difficult things. You have to, you know, find your balance, and finding balance is very hard. It's not like this easy thing. You have to, it's a practice. You have to work on it every single day. But just think about I find that the inspiration, motivation for me to do my spiritual practice every single day, and immediately respect that, and respect my time with my spirits, with my divine guidance, with God and my angels and ancestors, is that you have to respect yourself. You have to trust yourself. And in order to do that, you have to heal. You have to go through the dark and the light. Understand your darkness, so that way that, you know, you can bring that light, you know, it becomes a balance, you know, balance your spirit, balance, and not only that. What I'm saying, I'm trying to get to this, is that when you do all that hard work within yourself, you heal others. Yes, on a subconscious level, you are healing the collective. You are healing a part of your bloodline, a part of your ancestral line lineage. You're healing ancestral lineage, and that's important. And that's something that, you know, we don't really talk about it. It's not really taught in schools and stuff like that. And that's something that I'm saying, like, that now we are gonna have, well, I'm seeing it so far, a lot of light workers, empath, educators, you know, outside of the box kind of thing, and trying to figure this thing out, editing and stuff like that. They are doing it, which is great. Which is something that I wanted to put it out there as well, that if you need any help, hit the email. I'll help you get set up, so that way that you can continue your life work, okay? It doesn't take long for me, and I've been doing this for a long time, so if you need help, so just to start you, to set you up so that you can continue your educational videos, and you can continue, so you can continue showing up and doing your thing. And if you're creative and you're having a hard time, then you're like, oh, I want to put my work out there, but I'm not sure. I don't want to do it in a sustainable way because I don't want to be on social media all day. You know what I mean? And also, you don't want to be like, you want to actually, enjoy your time and get back into spirit. Those things require their time and stuff like that, so that you don't have to be here all the time. There's some people that are really good at this. Like, they have mastered this. And that too, like, I admire those people too. And that's what I've learned, what I know now, so that I can, it's like a nice circular knowledge thing, circular economy. I can't wait to one day, maybe it might happen, but it might happen. Too, sustainability. I honestly can't wait into that stopping like a trend and actually becomes consciousness, becomes a literally creative sustainability, like, or designing or engineering or like, green spaces, like green buildings, like everything, highways and everything. I don't know, I see the world like that, I guess. But that too, that's another thing that I'm trying to heal as well, that I cannot focus so much on the future, even though I know the data, I know the research, I talk with other scientists, we're doing the work also. That too is like, I have to like kind of split myself in different and it's not good. I've spoken to my therapist about this, and she tells me, Angie, it's not good to split your spirit into so many entities, because that's just, it's not sustainable, right? And also, it's very easy to be dragged down by lower frequencies and lower vibrations, and it's just, they just drag you down, and then that's where depression, anxiety comes in and all these things. So that's why it's like, no. So now I'm focusing on one thing at a time. One day science, and then one day creativity, one day spirit guides, one day, but most of the days I also do have my full-time job as an educator, facilitator. I love this job. I love that, being that beacon of light and love for those who, who need it, who need, who don't have the privileges that you and me have, as, be able to ride, be able to move, be able to walk, be able to talk, be able to express themselves, be able to freaking scratch your ass, man. Yeah. Can you imagine you can't scratch yourself? Just think about that. Like, they say you're really itchy and you can't scratch yourself. Yes. That's a privilege that we don't really acknowledge. But that's a disability. Like, there's people who are like that, who can never scratch themselves, but they're dealing it with happy face and everything is great, and dealing with society kind of like shaming them and stuff like that, which sucks. So that's something that we need to change. Empathy for that, for those who don't have what we have. That's what I wanted to say. Be grateful for what you already have. I'm feeling really good energy today, I guess because it's the 11th of September and tomorrow's my birthday. And I had a really good meditation prayer for the people who die on September 11, because that's something that I wanted to, clarify to everybody, that, what happened today, it's a byproduct of really corrupt and greedy organizations and governments, right? Like, that, we cannot blame Middle East. Like, that's horrible to, no. So yeah, for the couple readings that I've been asked and guided to come here, I actually wrote down a few topics, so that way I'm not like off as I usually do. Just stick to different subjects. But one of the main ones that also I've been, connecting with my guides and angels, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit on. They're letting me know that it's okay if I do some internal channeling for any disease. I know this might be a little bit triggering, and also that too is like, oh my god, you're doing that before your birthday. But honestly, I feel like some people would like to hear other messages from somebody who didn't have that chance to tell them before they passed away during that time. So I have a feeling there's a few ones that are coming through. So I'm gonna do that for you, and hopefully that person who gets to see this gets to hear. If this resonated with you, and if some things I said or symbols or numbers that I mentioned or anything like that resonated with you, then that is your confirmation that your spirit guides or this soul person was trying to connect with you and trying to give you a message. and hopefully it will help you, guide you through your journey, or the healing journey, right, of dealing also with someone that died very tragically, right? And also that too is like, I find a lot of people look at this like a patriotic thing or kind of thing, but it was actually really dramatic and traumatic, and it's also it was in vain, right? Those were considered commodities for these greedy organizations, and also the person who planned this, because this was planned. This was not coincidence or just accident, or this was really planned, but by the same, if it was caused by the same country that governs this same country. They all have this satanic secret agenda, and it's all about money, sex, greed, pedophilia. It's a lot, guys. Like, these people are sick, crazy psychopaths. And that's another thing, is like, most of these people, if they're not going to therapy or they're not being assessed, all because they have money. Because that too is like, they have money, but they're not the ones, they are paying other people to do their dirty work, right? So that's why you can never look at, like, target or never look at them. But the reason is that's their tactic, and it looks like it works just fine, right? And we all fall into that too. They pay media, they pay all these things for you to continue being asleep. Yeah. Fetish obsession with children. Again, also another thing where patriarchy comes in, when they don't have their heal childhood wound, and then they project that. And then, I don't know, there's a lot of toxic masculinity, which is patriarchy, really, and then we normalize it like it's a normal thing, and then we just like, and then also that too, we shame and blame other people when we actually voice this stuff out, like it's toxic as fuck. And we are allowed to say this, and we're allowed to correct and help other people understand that this is not the way anymore. You're not allowed to abuse or control women anymore just because you have a fucking dick. Like, go fuck yourself. That's it. That's where I was going. Anti-abortion. Like, what is this stupid law? Seriously? And we're just gonna like, okay, oh, it's just Texas. Like, what? But that's another thing that I'm looking at, is like, this is a learning. It's spiritual lesson, not just for the Texas or anybody. This is for everybody. This is for the entire world. Do you see how this man talks? I don't know if anybody have seen this video that is going around of him. Do you see how he talks? Do you see what he's saying out of his mouth? There's just lack of education. Everything he says is ignorance completely. Like, he has no idea about what happens into a woman's reproductive system, what is actually going on there. And then he has the audacity to create a law that is just completely shows you how ridiculous he is, and how white supremacy is fucked up. And if we don't do something about it, we are going to regret this. We probably won't be here, because Earth is going to be just fine without us. It's us. They will be extinct if we don't actually work on what needs to be worked on. Even if it's uncomfortable, we all got to do this work. We've all been doing, some of us has been doing this work. So that's why we're coming in outside of the hermit mode every now and then, and come and tell you some, what we've learned over the experience, going in and doing the shadow work, because it's not easy to do this work. It's not. And spirituality is not this, it's beautiful, this thing is so magical, and so, like, you see me like this. No, there's like a couple of days of work internally, and like crying a little bit, and doing my readings, praying, meditation, and then feeling good and working on self-care and doing all this thing, doing what I got to do with my children and stuff like that. And then I can able to show up to, it's not easy, but also we can't blame other people if they're doing or not doing it. We're living in inequality. It's like insane right now. And normalizing this is even more crazy. So, yeah. So I'm going to keep coming here every now and then to continue provide value for you. So thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting. If you have any comments or anything that I can help you out with, let me know. And sharing with other people that might need to listen to these messages. And That's it. Okay, so the other topic that I wanted to go over was we can go over even more, but I wrote 2 blogs on the Virgo season. I'll put the description below so that you can read it. It goes into more detail of what I wanted to say today, but I kind of want to, my spirits guys are kind of letting me know that it's, kind of like, let's just get into the reading. But no, I'm not doing any personal reading or crystal readings right now, as I'm, I have other clients now, and I have a couple from my work and stuff like that. So the life is very hectic right now, and my kids just started school, so I'm building this routine with them also, and also finding ways where I can be more present with them and stuff like that, because my work takes a lot of time, and then I have my own thing that I do with clients, and then I come here, and this also takes time, YouTube channel and being in the community and being a service, research and stuff like that. Also do my own scientific research as well. So it's a lot of work, okay? So that's why, when I come here, it's like, oh my God, I made it here. But I feel really good. I like coming here. I like coming, and I love to see your comments. I love to see the emails that I get to, that this is really... So yeah, thank you so much for supporting and being around, and I'm glad that it's helping you, the divine messages and the divine guidance. I'm just here. I'm just a messenger here, okay? But I find ways now to see how can I bring the messages in a certain way that people can understand, especially like now I'm looking into like, okay, how can I rephrase my scientific mindset, which was completely colonized and all that blah blah blah. So now I'm decolonizing all that study, all that knowledge, but also like then asking myself those internal things, like whenever I feel something that is just like bias from books, from things that I'm reading, articles, or things that I'm literally discerning everything that I like, everything, all the system, I'm seeing through the metrics. Like no, you can't, because once you see, you cannot unseen. Remember that. That's why they're afraid for you to be awakened, to be spiritual awakened, to be a spiritual, to learn about self-worth, self-care, do your own thing, work on the system, but then do your own thing. Work on taxes and all this crap, but they don't tax the rich. Like, this makes no sense to me. Now we need to enforce this. Okay? This is how we're gonna start building equity and circular economy and sustainability, because we need to. Climate change is not stopping for nobody. And the more we continue our habits and continue our thing, the same thing that we were doing 5 years ago, no. Pandemic or no pandemic, no. Climate change will still go. It's gonna do its thing. If we continue what we're doing, we have to shift from fossil fuels to renewables, like yesterday. Like, for real. Discernment, very important. That's what's happening right now. I feel this month is like discernment, how to stay so sovereign, working on your inner child healing, the feminine womb. Feminines are kind of coming into their power and stuff like that. Kind of like, they went into they're doing their self-care. They're being like, they're building their habits. They're building their internal strength and wisdom and truth. I feel this stuff too, And that too is like, you understand now that when you're healing yourself, you're also healing the collective. You're healing on a much deeper level than all this 3D and all these people can never understand. Those people who are asleep and fighting for things, like, it just makes no sense. But then again, it makes sense on their part, which is why we have to be empathetic, because some people do not have what we have. And there's so much inequality in everything we've ever known, where I'm looking as like, okay, we have normalized that it's okay for other people to suffer as long as it's not ourselves, right? That's capitalism. That's so sick and toxic, so bad. And we have normalized this like a normal thing. It's normal. No, man, that's it. We got to change that mindset, that habit, okay? So that's another thing that I'm getting a lot of questions from activists and scientists as well. Like, well, what is going to happen now? What is all this? Like, how we can, and we literally have to shift. Like, that's another thing that's one of the topics that I wanted to say. let's talk about that, taxing the rich, but also we also have to remind ourselves that we also have a voice, we have a power. And how do we do that? We already know that which are the banks that are paying for fossil fuels, right? So if your bank is right now on fossil fuels, remove yourself from it. This month, work on that. Work on your financial habits and how to shift from a bank that actually does not fund fossil fuel companies, okay? And those are lists that you can check on my blog, the part 2 at the end. I put it at the bottom. I put you how to understand why we have to do this. We have to shift. We have to change that mindset. So that's something that I'm asking you for my birthday. I think I repeat it many times on social media too, but I'm just gonna repeat it again. Just put it out there. Like, I'm just manifesting. I'm manifesting. Yes. Do you wanna know what I'm manifesting? Equity. Yes. Would you like to join? Let's make money magic. And it's so simple. I know it's not simple because it's so hard because you have to go through all your banking and all these things, but literally, just plan it this month. I'm changing banks. Oh, why? No, you're paying fossil fuels? No, I'm changing. Take all your money, take all this stuff, start changing. Okay, your work, you have to change your pay slip, you have to change the account number. Like, that's it. Do this on entire month. Like, literally focus, have that clarity and focus that you want to focus on this month of September. Look at that, when everything, equinox, like everything begins kind of thing. Well, no, not really. We just have 4 months to go. But I'm just saying that at the end, at least you will have that shift in mindset and know that you're not actually, your money is paying for fossil fuels. I'm telling you, it will be like life revelation. Like, it will feel so good. I swear to God. I'm in that process right now. I'm changing right now. So, because I also got frauded from these amazing banks there. No. Time to change, shift. And that too, you also are creating this in magnified voice, letting them know, like, no, we are not, no more fossil. Okay, so that part was for people who don't believe in magic, who don't believe that other beings are close to, and they can also use this as a portal as well. So that's it. That was, I'm feeling good energy too here. And also it could be, my mom, because during this time she used to make really intense birthday parties for me, and it's gonna be the first year that she's not here and I'm going for the birthday. So that too has been kind of hard. So that too, I'm thankful for all the friends and everybody who are been trying to keep me happy and in the good space. So I love you. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Thank you. So yeah, that's it. When my cup is full, I come here and give some love, okay? So that's what I'm going to be doing. At least, I'm going to tell you a couple of days that I want you to kind of remember. So I'm going to talk about it, a little bit about it. But one of the things that I wanted to also emphasize that don't forget that we live in a system of oppression, okay? And also distractions are so easy to be out there, right? To be like the main focus and stuff like that, or make you, create this fearful mindset that makes you kind of conform and do all these things that and that too, it makes us say devalue ourselves and not stand up for ourselves, and not saying no is no. And I feel like a lot of people are not really understanding what that means, or it's a boundary, right? We create it's like a spell magic, a protection. Yes. So that's something that we need to, healing works with that. Healing helps you build that no. Do you see that? Ladies, anybody who can identify with feminine, doesn't matter, no gender whatsoever. Also males too, you should be building that, but I'm sure you're really good at not really listening to no's, is it? I think you should work on the progression of that. But ladies, we need to work on this because we are not being taught to say no. We're taught to be quiet and just conform and stuff like that. But also, I feel like there's also a very toxic femininity as well. It's not just masculinity. So we have to also pay attention to that. Balance dark entities that we all have, especially the feminine. Okay, we have a lot of internal mother wounds or father wounds and stuff like that, and also not living up to the expectations of, or sometimes some women don't want to have kids and they have kids, or like stuff like that, like and also we project that stuff very easily because we're very highly sensitive. Women we have really sixth sense, right? So remember, it has to be balanced. From our mother, Gaia, right? Earth. Everything is balanced on the planet. Everything is balanced and accordingly. And if you harm her and do anything bad, she will get back to you. It's not hard. And the thing is, we have to stop blaming the victims, the people who are suffering for climate change right now. Yeah, it's really sad to do that. It's actually fucked up that you are comfortable at home, not dealing with the psychological abuse and trauma that actually happens when somebody is dealing with climate change, when they lose everything, when somebody of their family die, when they're dealing with COVID, when they're dealing we have to be kinder, people. Like, it's not right to assume and have this. We all have to balance our greed as well, our toxic traits. Like, it's not healthy to be doing that and expecting other people to, if you're, unhealed and all these things, and you start projecting all that stuff to other people. Like, it's really not healthy. It's not. And I think the fact that we treat certain way Earth or other people says a lot about you, and that's something that, we all have our ways to, deal with certain things and stuff like that. And another thing is that, when you're going through difficult things and stuff like that, don't assume that people can read your mind. They can't. I mean, some people can. I find like right now what I'm feeling through the experience of the twin flame or soulmate is that telepathically we can actually communicate, and that can be said, but not everybody has this ability, and that's okay. But also we need to learn how to communicate what's really going on, and also, not expect people to know that if we're going through a fucked up thing that they're just gonna know. So yeah, I find like expectations kills connection, kills unity. That too, comparing yourself, like your life journey through whatever you're going through now, through other people and stuff like that, like that's another one that is just like, but yeah, but everything is in terms of like, systemic racism too, like thinking that it doesn't exist, or because the system now is changing again, coming from Texas, like really. And you see, I'm laughing like this, but I'm literally like, I am like so angry inside, like, because here in Quebec, it's like I know, like, racist people here are just like disgusting, and they make it normal here, and systemic racism is like a normal thing here. And every time we voice it out, oh, she crazy. Oh, she's too emotional, too angry. Oh, she's just a person of color. And if you're a woman voicing stuff here, oh, patriarchy comes out like no tomorrow here. Or the patriarchy socialism together, and like, oh, it's sickening. And also that too, here, being a single parent, like, honestly, that's why I pray every single day, and I'm grateful every single day, and any chance I can, I help anybody that I can possibly can, because I've been there, done that. And it's fucked up. It's traumatic. Fuck. And we think that this is like a normal thing, like homeless people deserve to be where they are, or people who are going through really difficult things, or mental illness, or disability, or LGBTQs, like all these things that are happening to them. Any BIPOC struggles there, because literally this system is designed to kill us. Stop assuming that what happens to you cannot happen to another person, or thinking that, oh no, that's not possible because it didn't happen to you, so you automatically think that it can never happen to another person. Or just listen to understand, because there's people dealing with stuff that they will never happen to you just because of your skin color. Just think about that you will never have to go through what other people go through just because of your skin color. And that already should give you enough, like, okay, wait a second. How can I use my privilege, what I'm able to do, to actually help those who cannot voice stuff for themselves, or cannot, or help literally dismantle the same system that is oppressing those people. That's really it. But it's so hard because we don't understand empathy. We live in an apathy world, oppressive and fucked up system, and we just normalize because, you know, it's colonialism, right? This is colonial all the way, white supremacy all the way, like. And that too is like, you know, we all think like we're free, but we're not free. Nobody is. And we're all trying to figure out things just as, you know, anybody is trying to figure out their own way and their own path, you know? Just why, you know, building that mental inner joy, inner strength, inner wisdom. Listen to your intuition, working on that, because you gotta nurture that. Those people who are psychics and stuff like that, don't think that because one week you're good and then the other week no. You have to nurture. This is like a kind of like a baby that is just being born, and you gotta nurture this gift. Okay, you gotta nurture your spiritual practices, the way that you connect with the divine, with your higher self, and then here and grounding yourself. That too. Virgos are all about discernment and grounding, and making sure that, you know, you're not overdoing things, or, you know, work on your mental health, like, you know, make sure that your mental health is okay. Do something creative, like as I'm here, like do stuff creative. Find things that make you spark, you know, like the joy. Get back to that inner child, okay? We'll try to see what used to make you tick, you know, and then follow that truth, follow that path, because that is your path. That's literally your calling, your mission. And I'm telling you, the more you listen to your intuition, which is actually better than experience, FYI, your intuition is better than experience. Remember this. It will serve you in life. Yeah. Wondering about how you nurture your intuition, how you get back into your intuition. Literally build things that gets you back into your inner self, okay? Which is why healing your inner child and going within and doing meditation, praying, writing things that you're grateful for every single day, like have a habit. Doing exercise as well. Exercising it's literally you're honoring your body, okay? Doing yoga, Pilates, running, cycling, all these things is honoring your body, okay? But also I find like now recently I found this new thing where, you know, if you follow the 4 elements of just like Gaia, to balance those things, then you're able to do this on a daily basis, okay? So for example, you know, water, do things that, you know, drink your water, keep hydrated, steam bath, salt bath and stuff like that. That's honoring your water, 25% of water. So that's why, you know, you are a water being, right? So that's something that, you know, if you see, okay, so where am I acknowledging my water sign or my water being? Am I nurturing that during the day, right? So that's something. Earth, how can I keep myself more grounded? Having, you know, watering my plants, or meditating near my plants, or, you know, cleansing my crystals or my things, or, you know, cleaning up as well, you know, making sure your home is, there's clarity and focus. I find that that's also an earthy way of being, right? Then you also have air. How can I have more air into my life? So breath work, right? Going outside and nature, and actually doing breath work outside as well. So yeah, so for fire, some people can do, they have a backyard, you can actually create a little mini fire or something, or like, you know, have your, you know, like candles, like, you know, have your you know, when you do meditation, have a candle, have incense as well, things that, you know, incense, anything that's very fiery too. Also, you know, there's crystals like Casper, cornelian, they're very red in nature, so they have this fiery passion kind of thing, so you also can have them around, and that actually helps you also as well. So that way, if you balance those 4 elements within yourself, and also working on your meditation and your, you know, your healing, your chakras, then you're in your intuition already, and also you're in tune with Gaia. So hope that helps. It does, it helps me, so hopefully it helps you. So yeah, Work right away, like you start trying, like, oh, I don't feel anything, I don't see anything, I don't hear anything. Of course it's not gonna work like the first few days. Like, you gotta do that. This is a practice. Healing is a process, just like learning a new skill is a practice, just like doing anything different is a practice, just like, you know, building courage and bravery and you know, going against the status quo, decolonizing, going through your spiritual awakening with like a clear mindset, and, you know, be able to have compassion and kindness when you might get regress or you might be pulled down by the low vibration, and then you're trying to, you know, it's not all of this that we're going through. It's very difficult, but we can do it with compassion and love, unconditional love, because we are literally divine multidimensional beings, and we can do this. We have done this before, and we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. We're going to heal ourselves and help our planet and do what needs to be done. I think another advantage that I found about having a very highly intuitive person, or nurturing your intuitive, or listen to your high divine and spirits and stuff like that, is that you're able to recognize when people are fake, when media is trying to lie to your program and all this bullshit, manipulation, all of it. You get to see right through it. You see right through it. Okay? Let me give you an example. The new show, The Activist. I'm just gonna let you think about it. If you don't know about this, go research it. But I find it's the most insulting show that the system have managed to literally build in order to keep people like thinking that activism is this kind of unseeable thing, impossible thing that cannot be done. But they're making it seem like, oh, we approve of it, of course, sure. Shout out to all the indigenous communities that are voicing out and putting it out there about this activism series that is going on CBC. I don't know. I don't even watch TV. I don't know. I just saw it recently on social media and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, really? They went that hard? They're able to pay millions and pay all this stuff for just to lie to you, to fake shit and continue manipulating and controlling you instead of literally doing what needs to be done. They need to unplug from fossil fuels, build equity, and create circular economy and the right justice system, because this justice system is disgusting. Right? Right? It's not, again, rooted in inequality. Oh, no. Not good at all. Right? But yeah, let's keep creating videos and movies and things to keep you distracted and not really actually woke about this shit. Because this is real. Ignoring, suppressing, and because it doesn't affect me, it's not really my issue, so I don't need to voice those out, I don't need to pay attention to that, so it doesn't affect me, right? But the thing is, it does, and eventually it will. It will affect you eventually. Maybe not now, but it will. So that's why, you know, creating unity and oneness and connecting all these communities right now, they are doing the work, and they are trying to get out of status quo. Also, those communities as well, I'm hearing that a lot today, a lot. Mutual aid. Because we're talking about equity, right? Remember, I'm manifesting, so my spirits are okay, so research about mutual aid, right? So some of y'all that know about mutual aid, I'm going to continue researching about this and see how, because we should be doing this. Every organization should be working on mutual aid, so in case, again, the government still continue the abuse and lying and oppressing, and we are financially unstable. Because eventually we will, right? We need to be conscious about this. That is, you know, that could actually happen. And we also know what they are going to do once we either on fire or go underwater or all these things. And I know a lot of people's like, oh, but that's too much doom. Let's not talk about that. You know, I don't have to say this if it wasn't real. But the thing is their research is literally, the links and everything is out there. You just have to look. You just have to do the research. Look at the data. Look at the numbers. Oh, no, I don't believe in that. Oh, you don't believe in science? Okay, interesting. At least in mathematics and real meteorology and stuff like that, like, you should believe on that stuff, because that stuff is what keep us going and keep the food and all that stuff going. Right? So you don't believe in science, so then, oh wow, okay. But then again, I don't blame these people. Because science also have been completely colonized, have been completely like, I don't blame them because there's so much bias and stuff like that going on. But you can still find truth within that stuff. You can still do discernment. You can still research your own research within the research. Don't limit yourself. Everything is unlimited, right? And it's free and it's out there. Well, some of the research paper I'll have to look into much deeper and probably pay and stuff. But other than that, some of the stuff is free for you to look at. And also, I don't have to say anything. All this in the news. Climate change is literally showing all its signs that it needs to be showing right now to everybody. Okay? And it's going to continue going. It doesn't change for nobody unless we start changing ourselves in the way we produce and consume and, not being conscious about what the emission that we emit. The carbon emission. Again, it's not all of us who have a fault in this, so we cannot blame the victims. We cannot blame those people who are literally suffering from climate change impacts right now. It's insulting. But also we have a voice, especially those who have privileges and stuff like that. Especially if you have a connection with anybody in the government, anybody who works with environmental companies, anybody who works with the fossil fuels. Seriously, like that needs to go, man. And we need to focus on green jobs. We need to keep that pumping that pressure. My spirit guys and everything was saying, you guys don't really need governments or politicians or anything on that. Just putting it out there. And they're right. We don't need them. We are so codependent on their toxic shit that we don't know what to do with ourselves. And they like that. They heavily benefit and heavily profit of our slave labor as well. And tax it too. Our food tax too. Everything. So that it makes us feel that we're not good enough, that we don't deserve to be here unless we are mules and conform. Now we have to have this badge, this barcode badge, like a cow or a pig brand. That's why I'm glad that people let me know, like, oh, you don't have to have the app. You can actually just print the vaccine passport thing. I find like that's the worst oppressive, controlling way ever. And we still think that we're free. Come on. Happened to you, it doesn't mean that it's not happening. So let's be more kind people. Let's, do things that can help another person, but also help yourself, be more present with those you love, because even if we're talking about doom and all these things are going wrong and stuff like that, at the end of the day, you are your own suffering. You are your own person, and also you have people that love you. You have people that want to help you out or support you, and they're there for you, okay? And then for those people who don't have what I just said, that's hard because it's not easy going through all of this alone, okay? So if you need someone to talk to, DM me, send me an email or anything, I'm here, okay? I know what that's like. If you need any help, let me know. I can connect you with some other people, other communities. I remember during the pandemic, I didn't let anybody who came to my DMs with suicide. It was rough, guys. Lockdown, pandemic, and nobody wants to talk about this stuff. Oh no, it's too much, too harsh. But we have to because we're repressing all that pain, all that trauma. But, there was just for me, it was no way in hell that I will ignore anybody's message when they were going through hard stuff. Even though I was going through hard stuff, I was like, there's no way I will do that. So I was there for them. I was there, and now I see them thrive. I see them doing amazing things. I'm so happy for you. Yeah, and for me, that's freedom, because I did something, even though I would never see what's gonna happen in the future for those people or stuff like that, but I didn't do it because there was something that I was gonna gain or anything like that. I just did it because, I put myself in the situation, like, why would I how would I feel if I was that person saying those things, writing those things, and really expressing this stuff out, and not having anybody to talk about this and resonating with any of the content or anything like that, and be able to literally feel safe and comfortable to say these things to us, it was through Writers Yep. And that's something too that also I connected through the blogs and stuff like that with a lot of people. So that's what I'm saying, is that don't ever think that any action that you do that doesn't matter. It does matter. It's just that if nobody's really seeing it or giving you applause or whatever, it doesn't matter. At least you help someone that literally is going to remember you, that you saved their life, that you did something for them just because. So be kind, okay? Just be kind, because everyone needs that person. Remember that God uses us sometimes to help other people through us, okay? So never neglect. That's another thing that I've learned nurturing my intuition, is that, you know, I'm more connected to, and it's not that I'm better or worse or higher, or it doesn't matter. There's none of that. It's, you understand duality. You understand that nobody's better. Everyone is one. We're all the same. That person, no, we're all one, okay? Money creates division, but also money is abundance, right? And the way that we use money now is very distorted and not, it comes with inequality. As if we're not changing that and creating mutual aid and creating equity within every system of this entire planet, we will always have this lack mentality. We will always have money toxic things. That too, we will always blame other people. We will always shame other people for not having enough money or for the status that they have or stuff like that. But we'll always have this, you know, hierarchy kind of thing, and always a competition. This constant competition, this capitalism toxic thing, you know, that creates a lot of mental illness, and that creates, honestly, suicide. Because, you know, we're not valuing people for what they are. We're valuing them for what they can do for a system that doesn't give a shit about anybody other than their own selves. So yeah, that's why I meditate a lot and pray and, you know, find my inner joy through all these chaos and struggles, because that's what it is. This is Earth School. You learn Earth School, but we're here to shift that. Learn, shift, decolonize, and thrive. But not only just you, everyone. All the collective, the unity, the oneness, higher consciousness. We're all trying to get back to higher consciousness, and the system's trying to kill it. Yeah, that's really it. Distraction, creating all these things, not helping us get back into our souls or higher selves. Because also that too, when we are working on ourselves and we're doing all these things, we start caring about other people. We start actually building and remembering that we all can actually build equity for everybody. That we can actually do have, and literally in our DNA, sustainability. That it comes from ancient lineage that we all possess within ourselves. This is why I'm telling you that intuition is much better than experience, because your intuition is linked to much other higher education before you came into this lifetime. And this right time, this moment right now, you have knowledge from life. So yeah, honor your intuition, you honor your ancestors. I know it's crazy, but that too, honor your ancestors, you honor your intuition, you're honoring your body, you're honoring your spirits, you're honoring, you know, your connection with Earth, because we're not separating from her. We actually link everything. She's consciousness, just like we are. But the good thing is that we are so smart, and we have unconditional love, and that we can build empathy back again. We do not have to live in systems like this. We do not have to conform. We do not have to do any of this stuff. We have to combine our power source, which is all of us together. I don't know what that is. It sounds like a motorcycle. But yeah, there you go. Motorcycle your way. But you know what I'm saying, is that one thing at a time. It takes time. Rome wasn't built in one day, okay? It takes time, and it's a process. I went like way off topic. I tried. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to remind you guys, the 24th of September is a global climate change strike. So I hope you guys come and join. We're gonna planning to maybe do a live on Writers Yep or stuff like that, or maybe here. I'll see. Maybe climate strike here in Montreal. I'm gonna check also with Ready for the Future strikes and accounts. So I encourage you to check that out so that we can all get into the strike. Another thing that I wanted to put it out there is just to give you a fair warning for this month, because I read it and I was like, okay, this is really happening. So I'm gonna let you know so that you inform. We are getting into Mercury retrograde on September 27 to October 18. And also the fact that we have that time also, there's 7 planets in retrograde. Okay, so this is what the spirit guides are literally made me write this date, and let me tell you. When you have 7 planets, and probably this hasn't happened in a many long time, in retrograde, this is a time for intense, deeper healing. Okay, but also this is if you're looking into how to nurture your intuition, also doing, building kind of like a habit, and I want to maintain it, want to build it and continue having that consistently. This is a good time to do that. Okay, a lot of also internal healing, inner child healing as well. If you're planning on taking therapy and going deeper into, releasing all that trauma and stuff like that, definitely recommend. So then that time also, you also have Pluto, which you started from April 27 to October 6. And it's still, and basically Pluto is kind of like its time of inner transformation and release. Okay, so that too is when retrograde, just pay attention to a lot of things, because there's going to be a lot of tower moments for a lot of people. Also, that too is that time where there's a lot of significance now for a lot of people who have been doing also the shadow work and inner work, that September and October and November are very important dates, important months. So that too, pay attention to the signs. The universe can start sending you synchronicities, little numbers and little things. The spirit guides, make sure that your dreams also. Make sure you're writing down your dreams, because it also could be messages for you that can help you get through certain things that's gonna come up for you, especially if there are things that you haven't healed yet, but it's triggering you, and it's kind of deviating you from your path. There's a lot of people who are gonna go through a lot of probably spiritual awakening, probably a lot of transformation, a lot of truths are gonna start coming up, and it's gonna trigger a lot of people. There's gonna be a lot of imbalances, especially with this whole separation of the anti-vax, and then you have vaccinated people, and then these vaccinated people are all like shaming the anti-vax, but and also that they don't are not empathetic and not listening to all the people that cannot take the vaccine because of medical reasons and a lot of other issues. But then again, inequality, anything created from inequality is meant to create distortion and disorder. It's nature, it's what it is, and that's another thing that these people know and understand, and they benefit either way. So this is something where inner healing is important, so that you're able to go through the struggles and find also inner peace and inner. A lot of people are gonna get triggered, and a lot of people are projecting the stuff. There's no people healing. Everybody's being distracted and not doing the work and stuff like that, so that's what I'm saying, is that learning to do discernment, creating boundaries. Telling all these people who are very sensitive right now and who are doing the work, and also are getting away from toxic things and not letting people, they're stopping the people pleasing. There's a lot of discernment going on for a lot of us. Okay, so I'm proud of you, by the way. If you're doing this, good for you. I know this is really hard, but hey, you're doing it. You get in there, and that's what matters. And whatever little bit that you do is good enough. Okay, each day has its own personality. Just think of it this way, especially in the healing process. Just think of it this way. Each day is gonna be good and bad, good or bad, but you still have that internal self-life, because the good always comes with the bad, and the bad is where we learn to grow. We learn on both sides, but the bad is when, we actually acknowledge, accept it, and forgive. See, I get creepy of my own. Yes, I guess, what is it, 8:41 that happens? Yeah, 8:41. So 8 is a prime number. Yeah, we're having some highly spiritual people here. But it's okay. It's what it is. Okay, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about was Saturn. Okay, we have Saturn, which is started from May 23 and October 10. Okay, and this is for a time for analyzing and rethinking beliefs. Okay, yeah. So when that happened, I felt this really intense warm. I still feel it though. It feels really warm here, and it's cold a little bit, but it's really hot in here. So it's okay. Probably spirit guides or angel. I feel really warm and loved. Like there's so much love going on here. Now the battery died. Like, yeah, it's just, yeah. There's things that we cannot understand that cannot be explained in this reality. There's more that is going on beyond that we can possibly understand. And that's okay. We just have to remember that we're all magic. We all come from magic. And that's it. It's just what it is, right? Saturn is that time to use this Saturn energy, for analyzing and rethinking the limited beliefs. So this is where we, really can go much deeper into the decolonization, really doing research, doing, questioning our beliefs and our biases and stuff like that, and really looking into ways of how to shift our mentality so that it can actually not only help ourselves, but help other people, the collective, right? And able to help in what we're all trying to do is shift and change everything, because it must be changed, right? This is not going to change over time, and we can't rely on those people who they keep showing us repeatedly that they don't give a shit and that they're going to continue doing what they know best, abuse and keep people oppressed, right? So yeah, just saying, energy can help us, deal with this struggle. But Jupiter also, from June 20th to October 8th. Okay, so I wrote that time for internal growth and being calm. So finding, because we hear people, like, especially those who are dealing with like anxiety, chronic anxiety and stuff like that, I always say people like, be calm, it's okay, just calm down, It's not healthy to say that, okay? And also it's very hard for some people to find that calm, that because we are all dealing with different struggles of different things, different environments. We grew up with different mentalities and stuff like that. Like, we are not equal, right? And we're not all free. We are mentally slave. We're slaves here, right? And that's what we're trying to get away from. Liberation. Liberate the people who are oppressed. Women, children, all the abuse, all this that we need, people of color, like indigenous communities, like seriously. Internal growth, I meant it in the sense where, this is where we can actually go much deeper for those who have been doing the work, and now you can actually, use the Jupiter energy to kind of find the balance within yourself, to continue with the struggle, but also find that inner joy, which also those habits or anything that you're doing can help you have a little bit of fun through it too, right? Like, have fun, finding fun and joy through the struggles, through things in life, through things and stuff like that, dealing with certain people, or going through breakups or healing through breakups, or every other things that happen in life, right? All the stuff that is gonna happen, right? So I feel like Jupiter can actually help us do that, and also keep calm whenever we get triggered, whenever so this is something that we can actually kind of work with Jupiter in alchemizing our our toxicity, or things that we need to work on so we don't project it into others. So then there's Neptune. Okay, so Neptune started from June 25th and it goes all the way to December 1st. So Neptune has this way of like kind of letting you know that everything takes time. Okay, everything is in divine timing as well. And I put time for clarity and with no illusion. So this is where we can actually, kind of go through the process of, dismantling everything, accepting what it is, and then see how we can shift our mindset, okay? And literally letting go of the limiting beliefs and all these illusions created by the 3D, the matrix and stuff like that. And literally by going through our healing, we are going to find clarity, okay? So this is something that I've said, I'm thinking that, it will be good to kind of get into, Neptune's energy as well. Also are in the time of Chiron. Chiron is, it's all about emotions, okay? It's all about, and it started from July 15, it's gonna go all the way to December 19. So yeah, I put Chiron is embracing us and helping us through the planets as well, is that time for emotional healing. Going deeper, healing our inner child wounds, ancestral traumas, going through all this internal healing that is not just, that's what I was telling you guys, using Chiron to release all the toxicity, and also doing moon rituals, bat rituals and stuff like that, because the work is still going after you take the vaccine or not. Either you take it or not, or you take it, you still have work to do internally in every sense of the way. It's not a joke anymore. You are responsible for your own, your body is your worth. And you need to value that energy. You need to value that. And how do you honor that? How do you honor yourself? Taking care of yourself. Self-care, self-worth, speaking up in a balanced, sustainable way, which is why it's good to heal yourself. Investing in yourself. Doing things that that make you happy, disconnecting from social media, and balancing your life. Honor your body by doing exercising, eating healthier, sleeping better. Like all these things that we take for granted, these are the things that you're honoring, and you're respecting yourself. And also that too, you're building trust, because trust is very hard to build, but it starts from within you. And that's why we're not taught that either. But this is what I'm saying. We're in a new earth. This is a school, spiritual school, right? So we're all learning just as we go along, okay? Don't be so hard on yourself. Honor your process. Everything is a process. There's no competition. There's no one rushing. Don't believe in the Russian capitalism crap. You still have time to, if you're starting a new thing, or you wanna continue what you started already, and you got discouraged in this pandemic and stuff like that, get back into it. Like the energy is literally pulling. Get back into it. And find your way. Find your joy. Find a good habit. Self-discipline. That's what people don't like to talk about, because they're too scared of talking about responsibility, self-discipline, and growth, and how hard it is to do all those three. You know what I'm saying? But if you're working on that and you're doing that on a regular basis and you're building that, because it doesn't just happen, no, you build that, good for you. Keep going. And then add what you like into it. It's a process, one thing at a time, okay? Be patient with yourself. That's another thing. Be patient. Okay, good things do not come just like that. Okay, it's just what it is. Especially if you want things to last, you want to build a sustainability internally within yourself and other people. That takes time. You have to be patient, and also be okay with failing. We're okay with making mistakes. We're humans. We're not perfect. Okay, and we're all trying to figure things out as we go. Okay. So be kind to other people and be kind to yourself. But it starts from within you. So you're not kind to yourself, and you're going to start projecting and not be nice to other people. It's just what it is. So be kind to yourself. Be good to yourself, so then you can, pass that divinity and grace that comes from within you to other people. Okay? Now, we have Uranus that is started from August 19 to January 18. So this is where time of interchange and independence. So this is where I find that Uranus can help us with the codependency that we have with the of toxic codependency, people pleasing, and all these toxic things. Keeping people around because we don't want to. We have this fear of being alone, and so we kind of like accept people toxic shit and and also that too is like, I feel like we are afraid to have that internal change because we feel that other people are going to judge us for doing that work. So we end up not doing it because of other people. But then we see them, they continue doing not good things to you, and we just accept it and create this normality, even though we are kind of suffering inside. Don't do that. Know your worth. Do things for you, and then other people. You're your first priority. Fill up your cup yourself, and then you can ascend that to other people. If your cup is not full, forget it. That's a burnout. That's You're gonna become angry. You're gonna be lashing out at people. You're gonna have uncontrollable emotions. You're gonna have anxiety, depression, like all these things. Your cup first. This is how, you learn to build self-care, because it takes practice. Some people, like, we didn't grow up like this. We grew up like, it's like a sin to rest or to take time for yourself, to sleep. Some people have that condition. Like I'm still working on it. Like, it's just taking me a very long time. And I know that I've embraced that toxicity too within my business, within my community, within myself. And that's something that I'm like, no, I am not doing that no more. It's not healthy. No longer embracing toxicity and toxic things. If I'm going to be this conscious creative, then it has to start from within me, right? It has to start from within myself, within practice that I do, the habits that I do, how I'm raising my kids, how I communicate with other people, how I'm doing with businesses, with clients, with anybody. And also, not changing who I am because other people don't like it, or other people feel offended, or they feel uncomfortable with me, or I trigger them, or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm not going to stop my lives just to complicate to yours. It's just not going to happen anymore. And I hope a lot of women right now, they're able to do this and are able to take a stand and say, you know what, no, I'm going to continue being me and doing me, because that's what I'm meant to be doing here. Not meant to be conforming or entertaining for anybody. We're here to speak up because we're on a mission to shift mindset, to shift and change. We're feminine energy. All divine feminines are in that shift as well, to healing. We are healing the collective. We are healing female wounds, masculinity, and that too. That's masculinity they're in their purging and their healing process as well too, because they're realizing that there's a lot of fucked up shit that is happening that is not healthy for anybody. It's not just, and that's beautiful and it's great. That's another thing I applaud any men who are going through their colonization, that are doing the inner work, doing the inner child wounds. They're going through deep, they're acknowledging their emotions, they're connecting back to their source and stuff like that. And that is huge and beautiful. So continue doing that, and that too, they're also realizing, like, we need to help women create this equality, create an equity, right? Which is beautiful. And that's how you find the answers, through healing, through within. All right, guys, that's what I wanted to tell you. I'm going to do a little reading for this week. I have another reading also. I'm going to go through it because I have, this is actually for the elements. So I have fire signs, water signs, air signs, and earth signs messages after. But yeah, I have a message for this week. I think it's my birthday week. So this week, this is the weekend of my birthday. So the week that is coming up, this is the message for that.